Hi, I'm Dr. Lance Knaub, and welcome to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with Randy Crane, president of Crane Group, Inc. Randy, so good to see you. Glad I could finally get you on the set. I think you were avoiding the TV time.
A little bit.
Well, you know, I've certainly enjoyed getting to know you over the last couple of years, and we've been doing all kinds of fun stuff together in our mastermind and everything. So for those watching, can you tell us a little bit about your story and your backstory and how you've gotten to where you are now?
Sure. Let's see. I played football at Villanova, and after I came out, graduated, I took a job at Prudential Insurance, selling life insurance. That lasted a couple months.
Okay.
Wasn't fun. Realized the 9 to 5 wasn't for me. I partnered with an old college roommate. We opened a bagel shop.
Okay.
And it was great. I mean, we made our own hours. We worked 20 hours a day.
Of course.
And after about 4 years, my wife was like, "Hey, I'm not seeing you. You know, you're working too much." At that point in time, her dad was in the insurance business.
Right.
So he was getting close to retirement, and he said, "Come back to New Jersey, take over the business." Meaning my wife take over the business.
Okay.
And then he could plan his retirement. Well, she took over the business for about 6 months. She hated it. She didn't want any part of being an insurance agent. She could do the back office stuff, but she didn't want to be an agent.
Right.
So after about 6 months, she came to me and said, "Why don't you be the agent?"
Okay.
So I came in, I got my insurance license and all that stuff, did the training, and my father-in-law gave me a good piece of advice. He said, "Stick with commercial insurance. Let the office do the home and auto."
Okay.
So I went out and I sold commercial insurance, and to me it wasn't really sales because I was just going out talking to business owners, getting to know them,
Okay.
getting to know their business,
Yeah.
and then figuring out how I could help them coverage-wise.
Right.
Yeah, so that was 2000, around 2000 is when I started. 2005 we bought the business from my father-in-law and moved it to Pennsylvania from Queens.
Okay.
And we've grown it ever since. We're
Yeah.
probably 4 or 5 times the size we were back then.
Oh, wow. Nice job.
Yeah.
So working with your partner, that's not easy. I've lived that as well. How do you guys navigate that?
It was tough in the beginning. You know, working together all day, being together at home and 24 hours a day. Now we do separate things. We're in charge of separate areas of the
Right.
business. She's more on the HR and finance and back end stuff, and I'm doing the sales and basically recruiting agents and hiring agents.
And how do you guys, that helped us having some division of roles and even just initially just sort of working opposite shifts when we were, you know, doing all the treatment. But how do you guys avoid the temptation of like talking too much business at home?
That's tough. We tend to do that a lot. And, you know, sometimes I'll just come home and say, "You know what, I can't. I need a break."
Yeah.
You know, especially if it's been a long day.
Sure.
Let's talk about work tomorrow or something
Right.
like that. So if one of us puts the brakes on it, we just
Okay.
don't talk about business.
Okay, good. So it seems like most recently you're really having a lot of fun and, you know, kind of in your zone of genius with helping some other insurance owners to have some opportunities, maybe if they're looking at their succession plan, their exit plan.
Yep.
And you're creating this, you know, platform called Insurably.
Yes.
Tell us all about this.
Okay. So with COVID, it really advanced insurance acceptance of technology. So the people used to come to the office and, you know, change their auto, pay their auto insurance, home insurance, whatever. With COVID, people stopped doing that, so they had to
Okay.
find other ways. So they would communicate by email or text message, and that adaptation really came quickly. The agents that were in the 55 to 60-year-old range, when they closed their office and went home, a lot of them just stayed home
Right.
and let technology pass them by.
Okay.
So we've built this platform called Insurably, and what we're doing is we're bringing agents on that they're close to retirement, but they're not there yet. So we can give them the technology to use to manage their book of business And then when they're ready to retire in 4 or 5 years, we purchase their book of business and they go into retirement, as they naturally would.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot of demand for it.
Yeah, I know people are now reaching out to you, and besides being, closer to retirement, what do some perfect fits look like? How big are they by size, or
Yeah,
how many people?
Yeah, that's a good question. Typical mom and pop insurance agency is what we're looking for. Could be 1,000 to 2,000 clients. Premium-wise, could be a couple million in premium. Revenue-wise, probably 250,000 in revenue.
Okay.
But what we're able to do, and why we're building this platform, is a lot of times we can come in, bring them onto our platform, lowering their expenses.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we might be in higher commission tiers
Right.
with the carriers. So we can lower their expenses, increase commissions, and it's a win-win for both of us.
Totally. And I was going to say, and really, they have an exit strategy as well, because it's hard to build an asset that
Correct.
actually is sellable.
Correct. And what we've done is we take care of that in the asset purchase agreement, where we structure it however they want to structure it. If
Right.
they want to get paid up, when they retire and they retire in January 1st, 2027, we cut them a check.
Okay.
Or some of them want to be paid on installments to
Right.
ease taxes and
Sure.
things like that. Another reason that it's popular for these agents is because one agent said to me, well, what if I get hit by a bus? What happens? My wife can't come in and take over the business. So we build that into the agreement, where if something happens to the agent, then we start paying the wife or the beneficiary immediately.
Okay.
So, and that brings comfort to a lot of people, especially in that age bracket.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that. Yeah. Anything else about Insurably that's really worth highlighting? That's the special opportunity for people looking for their succession plan.
Yeah, we're pretty busy right now, but we can do some succession planning for these agents. I run a mastermind monthly where we talk a lot about a lot of these issues.
Yeah.
It's really a hot button. The average age for an insurance agent, I believe, is 58.
Okay.
We were just talking about it last night.
Okay.
So the average agent is kind of up there in that territory.
Yeah.
So it's a big opportunity, but like I said, we like to get a win-win scenario.
Okay. So those are people that you're really serving. And then how about with the traditional, I don't know what you call it besides, to me, kind of like traditional insurance part of your business model. Who are the ideal clients? You said commercial. Is that still the case?
Yeah, we do a lot of commercial. My agency, we have, right now we've got 5 producers, and they operate in different niches. So we have, producers that do just real estate,
Right.
apartment buildings
Right.
and strip malls and things
Yeah.
like that. We have producers that do contractors, auto service, which would be like an auto repair shop or a Midas or
Yeah.
an auto body shop. And then we have typical Main Street, what you'd see driving down a Main Street, a shoe store, a clothing store.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we operate. And then we do the home and auto. We like to write bundles where you write the home and 2 or 3 cars in the family,
Yeah.
in the household, put an umbrella policy over it.
Okay. And how are you helping your community navigate, what I'm understanding to be like really challenging and interesting times in the insurance world with, prices going up
Yep.
and, people's rates,
Yes.
individual people and companies' rates, really
Mm-hmm.
going up, and you're, of course, trying to help people get the best coverage
Yes.
possible. Tell us how you're
Yeah,
helping.
so it's really a difficult time in the insurance industry.
Yeah.
Natural catastrophes. Look at the fires in Texas this week.
Yeah.
I think there's 1 million acres.
Wow.
So natural disasters have been the highest of all time
Right.
in 2023, and 2024 is already shaping up to be probably just as much.
Okay.
So what that's doing, it's putting pressure on the insurance companies to raise their rates.
Right.
So what we do is we review policies. We usually send out an email to the client 60 days before the renewal and say, hey, your renewal is coming up. If you'd like to renew it, or if you'd like to review it, we'd like to set up a meeting, and then we'll, over the phone, typically, We'll talk to them. Some people like to communicate by email, but we'll go over their policies, see if they have enough coverage, see if they have too much coverage, see if they're missing any discounts.
Yeah.
In some cases, we can re-rate them or write them with another carrier. So it's been a challenging market.
Yeah.
It really has been.
Well, kudos to you for making it through and finding a way to still serve the clients well during this time when everybody's getting sticker shock. I know you're working hard to help make sure people have the value. So the next thing I always like to ask people about is, besides all these amazing things you're accomplishing, and including investing and in real estate, how have you navigated low points in your life and business, challenging times, rock bottom times, including mindset and mental resilience, and some of that you probably picked up through your athletics and football?
Wow, what a question.
Yeah.
How do I navigate low points? And okay, so I always keep a positive attitude. Always look for the best.
Yeah.
It's a lot about mindset. There's in my mind, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. If you're going through it, just keep going.
Yeah.
And it'll get better. Life is cyclical.
Right.
You're going to have those troughs.
Sure.
And you'll get through it. But I always keep a positive mindset. I always keep a list of goals.
Okay.
So I'm always striving towards something. So and I update them quite frequently.
Yeah.
And it's funny, in the insurance business, the goals that I set back in like 2015, I was reviewing them around 2020, and I said, "Oh, wait a minute! I've accomplished everything here.
Wow.
Now I have to up them."
Yeah.
And we did up them, or we increased them for the agency and personal goals, but mainly for the agency. In 2020, probably about May of 2020, we set a 3-year goal, and we accomplished that.
Okay.
So now we've got to set our goals higher, and I'm looking at a number that's almost makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, good. Well, it's got to be,
Right,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
Well, we know we're both big fans of 10x is easier than 2x, and Ben Hardy, and those wildly big goals are people have more fun and actually get closer to achieving them, if not achieving them.
Yep. Yeah, it's like you said, it's fun. I'm having fun now, and I've read your book, 4% Breakthrough, and we've also read Traction, and so we've put a lot of structures in place that enable us, and I say us, I mean myself and my wife.
Right.
She's part of the team.
Of course.
Where we can work on the business.
Right.
In my business, it's hard to grow if you're sitting there answering the phone all day or sitting in front of clients all day.
Yeah.
So we've gotten to the point where we've got great staff members, we've got great licensed producers,
right,
and they will do the job of selling insurance, and then we work on the structure of the business, the future of the business, the goals, and things like that.
You're trusting your team. How do you carry your goals to access them? Is this paper, online, combination?
I use my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I put it on paper or notebook, I'm going to lose it.
Okay.
I was an offensive lineman, and I played a lot of football, and my hands are all beat up. My handwriting is barely legible.
Okay.
So I keep them on my phone and digital. So.
And just checking them regularly. I know I actually made that a goal to look at them more frequently. That alone makes a difference.
Yeah. As far as the business goals, we look at them when we have our weekly leadership meeting. We look at the goals every week.
Okay.
So it's part of the process. We sit down, we have our meeting, and one of the things we do is look at the goals.
I love it. So
on
impressive. Yeah, that's good. Great job, Randy. We're going to take a quick break and thank our sponsors. So everybody stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
There's an old expression in business that you can't manage what you can't measure. Business performance and business valuation, it's all measured by the numbers. But I've learned that the real lessons and the tough decisions that are made occur behind the numbers. My name is Dave Bookbinder. Join me and my guests as we go behind the numbers to understand what really matters most in business.
I love that we both got an awesome network and saved money doing it.
I know, $25. I love that it's guaranteed for 3 years.
Hey, we're sitting on a
Switch and get Welcome Unlimited for $25 a line, guaranteed for 3 years. Verizon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Iorio. I'm the host of Rainmaker's Roundup right here on RVN TV. The show is about looking for people who are in competitive businesses that are doing something different and unique in the world of sales and marketing. Join me right here on Rainmaker's Roundup on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. and then again on Thursday evenings at 6:30 p.m. right here on RVN TV.
Oh, okay. Easy does it.
We switched to Liberty Mutual and saved $652. They customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. With the money we saved, we thought we'd try electric unicycles. Careful, babe. Saving was definitely easier.
Hey, babe, I think I got it. It's actually...
Okay, show off. Oh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Joanne, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Market news, experts, the economy, investment topics, and much more. I'm Joanne Morgano, and this is Martin Salzman.
And we're financial advisors.
We'll give you the latest happenings on everything that affects your money.
And have a little fun along the way.
We will.
Join us every Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. on It's Your Money with Joanne and Martin.
Hey, I'm Dr. Lance Knaub. Welcome back to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with Randy Crane. Randy, so much good stuff. This is where we really get into one of my favorite things to talk about, keeping entrepreneurs healthy, avoiding burnout.
Sure.
You played college football. How's your lifestyle right now to stay healthy right now, especially while you're kind of at this inflection point with the business, really hockey stick growth? How are you doing it, and how much sleep do you get on average? I always like to know.
Yeah, so that's a good question. To avoiding burnout, it's difficult. It's hard to strike a balance. They say to always strike a balance, but sometimes you have to work 12, 14-hour days, just to get through it. But I track my sleep. I use a Whoop, the device that tracks your sleep. So I sleep about 7.5 hours a night.
Sleep's a good one for you. I forgot that you're really tracking it
I
closely.
track all the numbers, and probably I've improved it a lot.
7.5 you're averaging?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I've improved it a lot over the last probably 6 to 9 months.
Because my Fitbit, I'm in bed for 7, but with the awake time, it's part of the cycle. I'm not getting over 7.
Yeah, well, if you ask my wife, I'm in bed by like 9:30. So.
Okay.
I am not a late night person. I wake up pretty early, so.
Okay.
If I'm usually up around 5.
What time are you getting up? 5.
Yeah. So, but it's I'm on a good place right now. Working out definitely helps.
Yeah.
I do a lot of treadmill right now. I've got some old football injuries that I'm kind of nursing and taking it easy. Usually if I overdo it, I injure myself and then I'm out for months.
Yep.
So I do a lot of treadmill. I do sauna almost every day.
Okay.
30 minutes in the sauna.
Very nice.
And time off, time away from office. It really helps to avoid burnout. We usually try and plan something at least every quarter.
Okay.
Just to get away for a couple days or a week or something like that. Just to get out of it, get out of the element of the office, get away from a computer.
Right. And when you go away, how much time are you actually connected? Are you able to separate 100%?
If it's a weekend or a long weekend, we'll bookend we'll take off a Friday and a Monday and take a longer weekend. Usually we're pretty disconnected.
Okay, good.
If we're away during the week, Monday through Friday, if certain calls or messages come in, sometimes I have to take them.
Of course.
Or sometimes Teresa will have to take them.
Yep.
Yep. So, but we do pretty well managing avoiding burnout.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So sleep, exercise. How about nutrition?
Yeah, nutrition. I've been pretty good with my nutrition. It's hard because when you're working, really zoned into working,
Yeah.
you don't realize what you're eating. If someone orders lunch for the office, or you have a working lunch or things like that, sometimes you're focused on the work
Yeah.
and not the food. So
Yeah.
that's difficult to manage. But I've got a pretty good routine where I have my breakfast. I have about 315 calories.
Okay.
And that'll take me till around noon, and then I've been trying to keep with like a soup or small portion. The big thing is the eating out. Dinner's out. And
Yeah.
I was in a work dinner in the city last night at
Right.
a great restaurant.
Right.
So it's tough. It can be tough.
Yeah.
You know,
Anything special you do for mental health and mindset?
do some meditation.
Okay.
Usually 15 minutes a day.
Very nice.
I do some. There's a training, Elevate training on the phone.
Yeah.
That app helps a lot.
Okay.
What else?
That's pretty impressive.
Just a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Sauna now. I've been going without listening to a podcast or without just.
Okay.
I'm the visionary in the organization,
Right.
and I've realized that I need time to think.
Yes.
And no podcast, no cell phone.
Yeah.
Just me and my thoughts, whether that's on the treadmill or in the sauna. Not meditating per se, but just thinking through, the next steps and
Yeah.
where we're going and things like that.
With more white space. No, that's awesome. So that leads me into, I did want to ask you about the future. What does the future look like for Crane Group and Insurably, and how do you innovate in business in general, and also particularly your industry?
Sure, that's a great question. So I think eventually Crane Group will merge into Insurably, and it'll be one company, Insurably.
Okay.
We have the domain; it's trademarked, and people instantly know what it is.
Right.
So it's got some magnetism to it. I'm excited with artificial intelligence. We already have some technology vendors that use artificial intelligence, and it's really cool what they're doing, because we're able to handle more premium and more clients with less people. So, and I don't mean that from a standpoint of, hey, you know what, if I can get down to one person, I mean, we can focus on getting other agencies and use those people in different positions.
Yeah.
But there's some technology that we use. One, Adapt Insurance, where they have a bot that will log into carriers' websites and get the deck pages and billing statements and bring that all down into our management system for us.
Okay.
And that used to be one full-time employee. Now I have her contacting customers on a daily basis about renewals and things like that. So,
Right.
so we kind of shifting those responsibilities.
Yeah, you do a great job leveraging technology. From what I've seen firsthand.
Yeah, we're pretty good at it. I've got a great staff. Some great people work for us, and they do a tremendous job. But I'm excited about the future. I think what's coming out, the technology that's coming out, and we're constantly pushing the technology vendors. So we see what their technology does, and we say, okay, it would be great if it could do this and this.
Right.
If it could go and get the documents and bring it all down to the system.
Yeah.
And then email it to the producer or email it to the customer service
Right.
rep. So
You're the most valuable to them because you're providing this valuable feedback. And if
Correct.
they're actually smart enough to listen to you,
in most cases, they welcome it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. That's great feedback.
Right.
In a lot of cases, they'll have conference calls with our agency, with other agencies, just to talk about, where the product can go from there.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I'm thinking of a connection that I have to make with you with a new SaaS company that's really trying to help make financials and QuickBooks more forward-looking. So I'm sure you guys can help each other. So if you could really boil down all your best thoughts for entrepreneurs that want to have the biggest success in life and business, what would your best thoughts be?
Wow, you really came with the questions today. Best thoughts. I would definitely recommend setting clear goals and backing up so that you take the the necessary steps to accomplish those goals. So if you're setting a 1-year goal, and my 1-year goal is to earn $100,000, okay, well, what is that? That's $8,700 whatever a month, and
Yep.
so back into it. Have the right mindset, positive mindset.
Right.
We don't even talk about negative mindsets because we don't have them. So, but I can see some people that have negative mindsets, or it makes it difficult to accomplish your goals.
Yeah.
And then network with great people like you.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah. Good answer.
And read.
So what would be top, 3 book recommendations? And it sounds like on the break, right, flood insurance came up. If you have any thoughts that you want to share to the world on how people that are, trying to navigate that can get through that more easily.
Okay, that's 2 separate questions.
Yes.
So book recommendations for someone who's starting out that really wants to go far. Vivid Vision was a good one.
Cameron Herold.
Which, that was way back when is when I did that.
Okay.
And I think that earlier I had mentioned that we looked back and we had accomplished all of that.
Okay, that was your Vivid Vision.
That was my Vivid Vision at the time. Your book is great, 4% Breakthrough. 10x is easier than 2x.
Yeah,
so that's
definitely.
maybe for someone who's a little more, well, no, not really. It can be for someone who's starting out.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are all great books.
Okay, great. And help us get through this flood insurance scenario with your wisdom. Share it, please.
Flood insurance is tough.
Yeah.
You're as we're taught to say in the insurance world, everybody lives in a flood zone. Even if you're on the side of a mountain, rain can come down and roll down, and But flood insurance is tough. It's a FEMA program.
Yeah.
A lot of the insurance carriers are working in conjunction with FEMA, and then with all the weather events that we've had, and the hurricanes and the storm surges, it's difficult because I think they're getting there, but they were basing their premiums and things on from years past.
Right.
And one of the biggest drivers of insurance premium now is reconstruction costs. So the cost of materials has gone up.
Right.
The whole supply chain thing. So it's difficult, to recommend if someone's in an AV flood zone. It's kind of difficult. There's not much to do because FEMA has a lot of bearing on the rates, higher deductibles, things like that. It's difficult.
Yeah, challenge on both sides. Well, I think part of the solution could be keeping in touch with people like you, experts in the industry, and people's individual brokers, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. And speaking of that, how can everybody find you, follow you, get more regular information from you, and both, people with agents and with agencies that might want to talk about, succession planning, as well as people that need insurance.
So the insurance agency is cranegroupinc.com, and for agents looking for a platform, succession planning, things like that, would be insurably.com.
Okay, INSURIBLY.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and if you want to get a hold of me, send me an email. It's just randy@insurably.com.
Okay, great. And any socials that people can get information from that you guys use?
Right now, Crane Group Inc. is on Facebook.
Okay. You're probably on LinkedIn?
I am on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't use it that much.
Not that active. Well, you like Instagram personally.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram too.
Yeah,
I
noticed
that.
It's
Crane Randy.
Okay.
It's just backwards.
Okay, got it. Randy, thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom and helping us learn more about you and your journey, and also just lots of insight into the insurance industry and entrepreneurial success, how to get through the highs and the lows.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, awesome. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week on our next episode of Moving Mountains.